What if the only way to save your entire family from ruin was to ensure one of them never received their share? What if a single clause in a will turned inheritance into a moral execution order, and the most loving choice became the most lethal one? The Voss family didn't just read the will, they lived it, until it demanded blood. Victor Voss built an empire in rare books and antiquities. When he died at 78, he left 4 children: eldest daughter Clara, pragmatic son Elias, artistic middle child Lydia, and youngest Theo, the dreamer. The estate was worth millions, but Victor's final will contained Clause 47, a paragraph so precise it felt like surgery. Clause 47 stated, "The estate shall be divided equally among my 4 children, only if all 4 survive to claim it on the first anniversary of my death. Should any predecease that date by accident, illness, or otherwise, their share shall be redistributed to the survivors. But should fewer than 4 remain alive on that day, the entire fortune reverts to the Voss Foundation for Rare Manuscripts." Forever. Victor had known his children too well. Clara managed the family gallery, ambitious, ruthless. Elias ran the finances, meticulous, debt-ridden. Lydia painted in seclusion, fragile, resentful. Theo gambled away small fortunes, charming, unreliable. The clause wasn't random. It was a test of unity, or a trap designed to force fracture. For 11 months they watched each other. Polite dinners turned tense. Shared grief became suspicion. Then Lydia, the fragile one, slipped on the grand staircase. Official cause: tragic accident after mixing wine and sleeping pills. The remaining 3 redistributed her share, and the clock kept ticking. Clara insisted it was suicide. Lydia had always been unstable. Elias agreed, citing her depression journals. Theo stayed silent, but his hands shook. With 3 left, the estate was still intact. But the clause had a hidden corollary, Victor buried in codicil footnotes. Any unnatural death before the anniversary would trigger an independent audit. The audit threat hung like a guillotine. If foul play was proven, the fortune vanished. So they made a pact: protect the 3 remaining. No more accidents. No police. Just wait out the year. But Elias's debts were mounting. Creditors circled. And he knew, mathematically, that with 2 survivors the share doubled again. Theo was next. Found in his car, carbon monoxide poisoning, ruled accidental by a family-paid coroner. Clara and Elias stood at the grave together. 2 left, the estate secure for them alone. But Clara noticed Elias checking life insurance policies. On her, Clara confronted him. Elias confessed the debts were catastrophic. He'd forged documents to borrow against the expected inheritance. If she died naturally before the anniversary, he kept everything. If murdered, the audit triggered and all lost. So he proposed the only logical path: mutual suicide pact. Both die on the eve estate to foundation. Clean end. Clara agreed, but only outwardly. She researched. Discovered Victor had added a final unpublished codicil years earlier. Discovered only after Theo's sack accident, when she searched the safe. It read, if fewer than 4 claim by anniversary due to unnatural causes among survivors, the last living heir inherits nothing. The clause is self-enforcing. The paradox crystallized. If Clara killed Elias, she became the last inherited 0. If Elias killed her, same. If both lived to claim, equal split. but his debts would consume it all anyway. If both died, Foundation wins. Victor had engineered perfect, mutually assured destruction. Clara realized a dark logic. The only way one could truly win was if the other died by their own hand, suicide, before the anniversary. No foul play, no audit. Survivor claims double share, uncontested. Victor hadn't just tested unity. He'd weaponized self-sacrifice. Major twist at the anniversary eve. Clara poured the poison for Elias, but switched glasses when he wasn't looking. Elias drank, collapsed, ruled suicide by note he never wrote. Clara forged it perfectly. She waited the final hours alone. Dawn broke. She was the sole survivor. Clara claimed the fortune that morning. No audit triggered, death voluntary, but as lawyers transferred assets, she found Victor's final letter, sealed until sole claimant. My dearest survivor, you have proven the clause. But know this, I altered life insurance decades ago. The policy on each child pays triple if the last heir dies by their own design within 1 year of claim. Victor had predicted even this. The last survivor, knowing the paradox forced self-sacrifice for any win, would be psychologically compelled to end it. The inheritance wasn't the fortune. It was the certainty of extinction. Clara now held millions and a policy waiting to triple for her heirs, but she had none left. She sat in the library where it began, recalculated every variable. The logic was flawless. Live and the family line ends broke and haunted. Die by her hand and phantom heirs, the foundation inherit triple via policy loophole. Victor's mercy, and the toxic bloodline cleanly. The shot echoed through the empty house. The Voss fortune, untouched by greed, untouched by survivors, passed to preservation. Not a penny tainted by living hands, the clause had won. Not through murder, but through irrefutable, compassionate inevitability. So if you ever read a will that feels too perfect, too tailored to your family's worst impulses, ask yourself, is this legacy or execution? Because sometimes the darkest inheritance isn't money. It's the logic that makes keeping it impossible. This was the story of Clause 47, where inheritance became extinction's perfect alibi. If your family's next gathering feels off, check the fine print, like if the logic chilled you. Share with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe, the next will might already be written. The clause always wins. Like if this broke your idea of family, subscribe for more where legacy turns lethal. Comment the darkest will you've heard of. I read them all. Next time, if the fine print allows.